The shock of the raid is not just about a door being broken down or the flashing lights of authority arriving in the dead of night. It is about the message it sends to the world that no one, no matter how high they climb or how much power they hold, is untouchable when the truth comes knocking. In life, this is the reality we often forget. We believe that those who stand tall, those who wear the mask of influence, will always remain untouchable. But history shows us over and over again that the higher someone rises without honor, the harder the fall when their time comes. The raid is not only an event, it is a wake-up call, a reminder that the walls we think protect us can be shattered in a moment of reckoning. Think about your own life. There are moments when unexpected challenges crash through the door of your comfort zone. It feels sudden, unfair, shocking, like the ground has shifted beneath your feet. That is your raid. The shock is not there to destroy you. It is there to shake you awake, to force you to confront what you have been avoiding. Just as the raid sends shockwaves across a nation, your struggles send shockwaves across your own mind and heart. But here is the truth in the middle of shock. You have the chance to discover what you are truly made of. Powerful moments are forged in the fires of surprise. You do not prepare for them with ease and comfort. You prepare for them with discipline, resilience, and relentless focus. The raid represents the storm of accountability, the lightning strike that cuts through the dark sky of arrogance. In your own journey, you must be ready for the storms that test you, because the world is not going to wait for you to be ready. The world is going to throw punches without warning. It is going to push you to the ground when you least expect it, and in those moments, your reaction defines you more than the attack itself. Some people crumble under shock. They let fear paralyze them, but champions take the shock and turn it into fuel. They look at chaos and see opportunity. They face humiliation and build strength out of it. Just like a raid exposes the weakness of power built on lies, your challenges expose the weaknesses in your mindset, and that exposure is a gift, because only when you see your weaknesses can you transform them into strengths. Only when you face the raid head on can you rise stronger than before. The shock of the raid is not just about fear. It is about truth breaking through the lies. It is about justice knocking on the door of arrogance. And for you, it is about growth tearing through the walls of comfort. Do not hide from the shock. Embrace it, because if life decides to raid your comfort zone, it is only preparing you for the greatness that lies beyond it. The symbol of accountability is not a badge, not a law, and not a courtroom. It is the truth made visible when actions finally meet consequences. Accountability is the reminder that no matter how powerful, how untouchable, or how high someone stands, there will always come a day when the weight of their choices lands on their shoulders, when the FBI storms through the gates, when authority demands answers. It is not simply about punishment. It is about the powerful signal sent to everyone watching. Justice is not a theory, it is a force. In life, accountability is the invisible mirror that follows us everywhere. It does not matter how clever your excuses are or how far you try to run from your mistakes. Eventually, you must face them. For some, that moment comes with flashing lights and doors broken open. For others, it comes quietly in the form of regret, shame, or the realization that they have wasted their opportunities. The symbol of accountability is powerful because it shows us what happens when pride, arrogance, and dishonesty collide with truth. It is not meant to terrify us, but to inspire us, to remind us that the greatest strength is not in escaping responsibility, but in owning it. Think of your own journey. How many times have you tried to hide from responsibility, hoping the storm would pass without you being noticed? How many times have you pushed blame onto others instead of facing the truth in yourself? That is weakness disguised as protection. True strength is when you step into the fire of accountability and let it forge you into something stronger, because every time you run from it, you grow weaker. But every time you face it, you grow unbreakable. Accountability is also freedom. When you carry the weight of lies, arrogance, or mistakes unacknowledged, you chain yourself to them. You spend your energy protecting the image instead of building the reality. But when you choose accountability, you rip off the chains. You take back control of your destiny. That is why the symbol of accountability is so powerful. It is not about punishment. It is about liberation. It is about proving that character matters more than image, that truth matters more than comfort, and that integrity always outlasts deception. History is filled with examples of those who ran from accountability and lost everything, and those who embraced it and built legacies. The raid of a home is one kind of accountability. The raid of your soul, the moment life calls you to answer for the choices you have made, is another. Both carry the same lesson: no one is above the truth. No one is beyond the reach of consequence. So do not fear accountability. Wear it like armor. Let it remind you to act with honesty, to build your path with integrity, and to never believe you are untouchable. Because the true measure of greatness is not how far you rise. It is how willing you are to answer for every step you take. That is the symbol of accountability, and it belongs not just to leaders, but to every one of us. Strength in chaos is not found in avoiding the storm, but in standing tall while it rages around you. Life does not ask for your permission before throwing uncertainty into your path. It does not politely warn you before it pulls the ground from under your feet. Chaos comes like a sudden wave, crashing without mercy, breaking the plans you thought were secure. But in that very storm lies the opportunity to prove what you are made of. Strength is never discovered in calm waters. It is revealed when everything around you is falling apart and you refuse to collapse with it. Most people panic in chaos. They let fear take control. They lose their focus and they surrender before the fight even begins. But strength means holding your ground. It means looking at the storm and saying, "You will not break me." Chaos can be terrifying, but it also strips away the illusions. It shows you what truly matters, what you can live without, and what you must protect at all costs. The fire of chaos burns away weakness and hesitation, leaving behind a sharper, stronger version of yourself if you choose to endure it. Think about the times in history when chaos struck without warning: wars, crises, betrayals, disasters. The ones who rose above it were never the ones with the loudest voices or the most comfort. They were the ones who refused to bow to fear. They used chaos as fuel, turning setbacks into stepping stones. This is the same lesson you must carry. When your own world falls into confusion, when nothing makes sense, you must stand like an anchor in the storm. You cannot control the wind, but you can control your response. Strength in chaos is not about being unshakable like stone. It is about being adaptable like steel. Stone cracks under enough pressure, but steel bends, shifts, and still holds its power. You must learn to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing your core. That is true resilience. That is what separates those who rise from those who crumble. The chaos will not last forever, but the strength you build in it will stay with you for a lifetime. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the noise around you is louder than the voice inside you. That is when you must fight the hardest. That is when you dig deep and remind yourself that greatness is not built in silence. It is forged in fire. Chaos is not the enemy. It is the training ground. Every storm you endure, every confusion you survive, every moment you refuse to surrender, you are building a version of yourself that nothing can defeat. So do not run from chaos. Embrace it. Learn from it, rise in it, because the ones who master chaos do not just survive, they lead, they inspire, they conquer. Strength is not proven when everything is perfect. Strength is proven when the world around you falls apart and you are still standing, ready for what comes next. The underdog lesson is one of the greatest truths in life. Never underestimate the one who seems weaker, smaller, or less powerful. Throughout history, the world has been shocked again and again when the underestimated rise and overturn the mighty. People laugh at the underdog. They dismiss them, mock them, and call them too small, too inexperienced, or too unprepared. But what the world forgets is that the underdog carries something far more powerful than privilege or position: hunger. Hunger to prove, hunger to fight, hunger to climb from the shadows into the light. That hunger can move mountains. That hunger can defeat giants. Being the underdog means you are used to resistance. Nothing comes easy, nothing is handed to you, and every step is a fight. That is exactly why the underdog is so dangerous. While the powerful grow soft with comfort, the underdog sharpens their strength through struggle. While the privileged relax, the underdog is training. While others are busy protecting their image, the underdog is building their reality. And when the moment of truth arrives, the underdog is ready to unleash everything they have built in silence. Every champion has lived the underdog story. Think of the great leaders, the greatest fighters, the innovators, the legends. They were all underestimated at some point. They were told they could not do it, that they did not belong, that they should give up before they even started. But instead of surrendering, they took the doubt and turned it into fire. That fire burned hotter than fear, hotter than excuses, and it carried them past every obstacle. That is the power of the underdog. They transform rejection into fuel and failure into a weapon. In your own life, there will be times when people doubt you. They will look at you and see someone too weak, too small, or too unworthy to win. That is your advantage. Do not fight for their approval. Fight for your growth. Do not try to prove them wrong with words, prove them wrong with results. The beauty of being the underdog is that no one expects your victory. So when you rise, you do not just win, you shock the world, you change the story. The underdog lesson is simple. The fight is never decided by size, status, or appearances. It is decided by heart. The lion is not the tallest, the fastest, or the biggest animal in the jungle, but it is the king because of its mindset. That same truth belongs to you. You do not need to be the strongest or the most privileged. You need to be the one who refuses to quit, the one who endures the pain, the one who keeps going long after everyone else has given up. So when life casts you as the underdog, do not be discouraged. Be grateful. It means you have a chance to rise from the shadows and show the world the strength it never saw coming. The underdog may be overlooked, but they are never defeated. Because when the time comes, they rise with a force no one can stop. Discipline over drama is the choice that separates the great from the average, the strong from the weak, and the winners from the quitters. Drama is easy. It feeds on emotions, distractions, and excuses. It pulls you into gossip, complaints, and negativity. Discipline, on the other hand, is hard. It demands focus when your mind wants to wander. It demands effort when your body begs for rest. It demands consistency when everything around you tries to tempt you into chaos. But discipline is what builds empires, while drama destroys them. Everywhere you look, you will see people lost in drama. They argue over words, waste energy on blame, and drown themselves in excuses. They are loud but powerless. They chase attention instead of results. But the ones who rise, the ones who achieve greatness, are those who ignore the noise and stay locked on their mission. They know that discipline is not glamorous. It is not always exciting. It is waking up early when you do not feel like it. It is putting in the work when no one is watching. It is doing the right thing even when no one will give you credit. Drama may get applause in the moment, but discipline earns respect forever. Think of the greatest athletes, leaders, and creators. Their success did not come from getting caught up in distractions. It came from a relentless dedication to their craft. They learned to control their emotions instead of letting emotions control them. They stayed on the path even when storms of criticism surrounded them. Discipline gave them strength when others fell into drama and wasted their energy. This is the lesson for you. Focus on what matters and cut out everything else. Drama feeds weakness, but discipline builds strength. When you choose drama, you are choosing to let others control your time and your energy. When you choose discipline, you are choosing to control yourself. Discipline teaches you patience, resilience, and mastery. Drama teaches you nothing except how to complain. One is a weapon, the other is a trap, and every day you have a choice between the two. There will be moments when you are tempted. People will try to drag you into their chaos. They will provoke you, mock you, or tempt you with shortcuts. That is when you must stand firm. Do not waste your energy on meaningless battles. Save your fire for the war that truly matters, your growth, your goals, your destiny. Discipline is quiet. It does not boast. But in the end, it always wins, because when the noise fades, the results remain, and the disciplined are the ones still standing. So train your mind like steel. Do not let drama control you. Stay focused, stay committed, and stay hungry. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. Freedom from distractions, freedom from excuses, freedom from failure. Choose discipline over drama, and you will find that the world cannot stop you, because nothing is more powerful than a person who refuses to be shaken by noise and lives with unstoppable focus. A call to action for the people is not just a speech, not just a phrase, and not just words carried by the wind. It is the spark that ignites the fire of change. It is the voice that tells you that waiting is over, that excuses are done, and that the future will not be written by chance but by choice. Too many sit back and watch history unfold like spectators at a show, forgetting that they are not in the audience, they are on the stage. Every person holds a piece of power, but most never use it. The call to action is the reminder that power in silence is wasted, but power in motion can move the world. When chaos strikes, when corruption rises, when injustice feels unshakable, people often look for heroes. They wait for leaders, for saviors, for someone else to carry the burden. But true change does not start with one, it starts with many. It starts with ordinary people who decide they are no longer willing to accept the unacceptable. It starts with the courage to speak, to act, and to demand better, even when the odds are against them. The call to action is not for the chosen few, it is for everyone who has breath in their lungs and fire in their heart. Action does not mean shouting louder than everyone else. Action means discipline, unity, and persistence. It means holding yourself accountable and holding each other accountable. It means refusing to bow to fear and standing tall even when the weight of the world tries to crush you. Every great movement in history was born from people who chose to act instead of complain, to rise instead of wait, to fight instead of surrender. That same choice belongs to you now. The people are stronger than they realize. A single voice may be ignored, but 1,000 voices cannot be silenced. A single step may seem small, but when millions take it together, it shakes the ground beneath those who abuse power. The call to action is not about anger alone, it is about purpose. It is about channeling energy into building, not just breaking. It is about creating a future where justice, respect, and dignity are not slogans but realities. Do not underestimate your role. Every time you speak truth, every time you stand for what is right, every time you refuse to stay silent, you are answering the call. The people are not powerless, they are only sleeping. And when they wake, no wall, no power, no empire can stop them. The call to action is the alarm bell ringing, telling you it is time to wake up, time to move, time to build the world you deserve. So rise. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for someone else to lead. The call is for you, and the time is now. Stand up, speak out, and move forward together, because history is not written by those who watch, it is written by those who act. When the dust settles, when the noise fades, and when the storms of chaos are gone, only one question will remain: did you rise, or did you stand still? This is your time, this is your fight, and this is your chance to prove that nothing can break the spirit of those who refuse to bow. Remember, the raid, the accountability, the chaos, the underdog's rise, the discipline, and the call to action all point to one truth: power is not given, it is claimed. Stand tall, stay relentless, and never forget, the world does not remember those who watched. It remembers those who acted, those who fought, and those who conquered. Now go and be unstoppable.